Hello everyone and welcome to, Daily Scuba News. So there's been an update in the investigation into the fire of the Conception, which obviously caught fire earlier September this year. So according to the LA Times, the Conception was among 325 small boats built before 1996 to be exempt from the stricter standards imposed on newer vessels, on the grounds that it would be actually impractical to, impose them on an older craft.
Yeah, so basically they met their safety guidelines, but those guidelines were less stringent than the ones on modern boats. So these Subchapter T Federal Regulations are said to affect 5,000 passenger vessels of less than 100 tons in the USA. They basically dictate that such boats should have escape hatches that are at least 81 centimeters wide, with illuminated exit signs. So the Conception was built in 1981 and it had a 61 centimeter hatch with no illuminated signs, which did meet its regulations, but it could have sort of changed the outcome on that night.
Now, of course, we know most of the passengers in the tragedy had been overcome with fumes, so it's not actually really clear whether a bigger signs or a bigger hatch would have actually helped or affected the outcome. But this new report will now shine a light on Subchapter T, and maybe they'll actually start altering old boats to fit this regulations, obviously due to the Conception. And yes, I believe where possible, they actually really should widen the hatches, or just it makes more sense to put more signs up.
Yeah.
It's a given.
Yeah, so the Coast Guard is now stepping up their inspections of smaller boats in terms of escape routes, fire protection systems, and crew training since the tragedy, which of course is the right move, and we know that Liverpool companies are taking steps to sort of basically make sure that their customers are safe aboard their boats, and we could possibly see some major changes required to existing fleets if they do choose to upgrade these regulations. So like we said many times before, it is sad that something so tragic had to happen for people to look into safety, but it is a good thing that everyone is taking steps to prevent this from ever happening in the future, and we could possibly see some really big changes to existing dive vessels.
And we also know, I'm going a bit off script here, obviously there was that fire a couple of weeks ago, and obviously tragically a lady died, but it could have been worse, couldn't it? The whole vessel could have gone, but because they made changes, they were all up to date with training and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it did really well. Anyway, let's leave the story there. If there's any more updates, of course we're going to let you guys and girls know. Now, before I sign off, at least 70% of you who are watching this actually aren't subscribed to our channel. I know, crazy, right? So if you're one of the 70%ers, as I like to call you now, I'm singling you out, 70%ers. Do a solid and sub to our channel, and while you're at it, why not hit that bell right next door to it? It makes a really cool ding noise. But it doesn't sound like a normal bell ding, does it, Mark?
No.
No, just click on it and then you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and as always, stay classy, scuba divers.
A study from 2018 revealed that there were 130 cases of shark-human incidents last year, and 5 were fatal. So a team from the Australian University decided to make a wetsuit that can be worn that could protect you from a shark bite better than traditional neoprene, but not as heavy as a chainmail suit. Something actually practical.
Yeah, something you can move